Alrighty, welcome to the Master Key Challenge. My name is Shanita, and you are here to unlock the door you're stuck behind and take your next step with clarity. Now, 31 days, 31 doors, one master key. Today is the start of the pivot of the challenge. And I want to make sure I explain it before anyone's confused who've been watching days 1 through 9. Now, originally, the challenge started out as the Daily Key Challenge. But upon further investigation and discernment, I realized that you don't need multiple keys to multiple doors. What we need is one key that opens multiple doors. And that one key is what I call the master key, which is my framework for know the door you want to open, into the room, and yield to the moment. So the challenge now is the master key challenge. And it's not going to change anything. We're still going to go through and it's going to be the same amount of value, same amount of insight, but just pivoting the foundation of the challenge name. So with that, your worth decides which doors you allow yourself to walk through. Your worth decides that. What you believe about you, if you believe you are even worthy. So today, this door reminds you of your internal value, in which we know if you are a follower of Christ, that is a value in the vessel. When you understand your worth, you choose it and it becomes your strength. But when you avoid it, you negotiate how you feel about yourself and how you show up in the world. And today's door is the door of self worth. Today, opening this door, for me, I remember it was very hard because for many years, I didn't believe I was worthy of pretty much anything because of how I started my life. I figured that, well, if that happened to me, if my own family couldn't seem to choose me over anything else or choose me over drugs or give me away and abandon me, how can I see any worth in myself? And so, with that type of thinking, I began to act out how I saw myself. I allowed myself to be in situations that were dangerous. I began to hang around people just to feel like I belonged somewhere. And I remember specifically growing up, my mother, who raised me, who is my mom, always told me that if you hang around people, they would either bring you down or you will pull them up. But when you are weak and you're not healed and you don't have the sense of worthiness, what you think happens? You get pulled down. And that's what happened to me. I began to hang around wrong crowds and they was smoking weed. And I'm like, what is this? Because I grew up very different. And just seeing this whole different world was like, wow, very like shell shocking. And for some reason, knowing what I know now, I didn't see myself as anything different. I was like, wow, this is pretty cool, very different. And I realized that me also smoking weed it actually made me feel, I didn't feel, right? I felt funny. I didn't have to think about being afraid or being shy, having low self-esteem or not loving myself, not liking myself. And so a pattern emerged and went from occasionally, smoking here, smoking there, to it being a daily practice, daily. Okay. And I know now, like sometimes I can't even believe like that was me. Like, wow, that was my story. Like, yes. And so it became daily. And every day, get up, go hang out with people, go do what we do, come back. And it was just every day. And I remember it was one person I used to hang out with when I used to smoke. And he turned out to get like really drawn out because he elevated. My mother also told me that when you start with one, you got to elevate, right? Because then you start building up a resistance and you're like, well, it's not doing anything. It's not strong enough. And I remember seeing him one day and it was very skinny, very small. And I found out that he had elevated to hard drugs. And I was like, wow, like that could have been me. But you know what happened? One day, I just ran out of money. One day, how I stopped, I was praying, like asking God to help me, like, Lord, you got to help me kick this because I cannot. I became addicted to it. And over time, as I was asking God for this, one day I ran out of money. I didn't have any money to go buy anymore. I couldn't call the plug. I didn't have nobody to call. I simply ran out of money. And nobody would pick up the phone. Nobody would bring me any. And that's how I stopped. So looking back, I know that I didn't feel worthy of even being loved and opening that door to healing. What it does for you, it does open up wounds, right? You have to understand the foundation of where you are at to know where you want to go. And so open the door of worth, what it means for you is that you will begin to understand that there's value in the vessel in which you occupy. No matter what has happened in your past, no matter what is happening in the moment now, but there's value in you. I don't care if you are living on the curb in the gutter or if you live in a mansion with hired help. You have value. And when you understand that you move differently, then how you show up in the world is different. You don't always take stuff from people. You set boundaries, right? You understand the power of no. So door of worth is the foundation. Like you can't open any other door until you understand your worth and actually work on that because this is why the master key is knowing that door you want to open, then entering that room and then yielding to the moment. Because you can know you want to open up the door and feel like you're becoming worthy, like I am worthy. But once you enter that room, you're going to enter where it's a growth period, and growth don't always feel good, right? When you growing, you have, like they say, growing pains. Growing pains are growing pains for a reason. Think about it. You know, if anything that has to grow a plant, it takes a while. It has to be trampled over and ate by bugs and insects and birds. And then to be nourished by the same bug. You know, like growth is not always comfortable. So when you open the door of self-worth, when you enter that room, it's important to yield to that moment because you want to enter the room and you want to begin to open the other doors once you understand what's behind that door. We can't skip, you can't skip doors, right? Especially foundational doors. Now you can skip doors when it comes to maybe do I want to eat, if I want to eat chicken or if I want to eat healthy tonight, right? You can skip doors per se, but when it comes to your evolution and your healing and your growth, there's some doors you must open, you must enter, you must yield to. So, with that, open the door of worth. Open it. If you look at your life right now and you feel stuck, you feel limited, you feel like the world's caving in on you, it's getting smaller, you can't move, why is that? Let's open the door of worth. Today's challenge, choose an option that reflects how you feel about yourself, that reflects if you are worthy, do you feel worthy, right? If you feel worthy, take action on that and make it tangible. Let me give you an example. If I believe I am worthy to be here speaking to you right now on this video, the action I'm gonna take is to do it again. Make the video again tomorrow. Make another video again tomorrow. Another video, another video. Because I believe I'm worthy to be here to speak to you about what I'm talking about today. So take action that reflects your worth. In the community, in the community, the prompt is what choice did you select that reflects your worth? What did you do? What did you say? What do you believe in that matches the reflection of your worth? Now, Tomorrow, we knock and open the door of speaking up. I don't know about you, but for years, and there's so many examples in which I never spoke up for myself. I always was the yes girl to bring down confusion. So tomorrow, the door of speaking up is one we must open if we want to set boundaries that stick. Okay? So, a quick reminder before we close out tonight. Life is a hallway filled with doors. And with the right key, you can open the doors that you want and close those that you do not. And each day that you open doors, enter rooms, and yield to the moment is when you become her. And whatever that means for you. If that door for you is confidence, if that door for you is freedom, if that door for you is traveling, whatever door you want to open next, start with the Master Key Challenge. I will see you tomorrow for day 11. And remember, 31 days, 31 doors, one master key. I'll see you tomorrow.